All right. So for today's exercise, the assignment we want to get done today or before Thursday, photographed and uploaded in the discussion board and your folder within the Google Drive Fall 2020 drawing folder is this little project I'm going to present on presently. So mark making is a very valuable thing to practice when you're working on drawing. It's kind of what sets you apart as an artist from your fellow drawers. Drawing is like your bare bones basic starting point for being an image maker. Because there are obviously very different kinds of artists. There are ceramicists, there's photographers, there's performance artists. But if you're working with a flat 2D image, you're an image maker. And part of that is knowing how to be a mark maker. So here are some amazing examples of student work that has been inspired by other more well-known artists like Paul Klee or Il Lee. And these artists have kind of adopted their own particular style or autobiographical line. And this is where students have had the opportunity to review these artists who've worked with these abstract lines. This is not a famous artist, this is a coloring book. And students have interpreted the work, recreated the work, copied the work, whatever term you want to use for that. So that's what you guys will be doing today. You're going to take one of these artists from the slideshow, and I'll make a list for you guys and put it in the chat. If you're viewing this at home on your own, just click through this video till you find the artist that you want to recreate. You'll want to find one that isn't like an image that wasn't presented in this slideshow. So that you're working on something that you found on your own. But you can use the names of any of these artists. Go onto the internet and research these artists. So you find a body of work or a piece of artwork that they've done that speaks to you and that you think you would enjoy recreating. And just really lean into the kind of style of line that they were working with. I think this is such a great example because it seems so like abstract and simplistic and maybe juvenile to draw this way, but there's something to be gained from the experimentation, and it will come up later in your drawings. So this is just a very good exercise to start loosening you guys up, teaching you what you like and what you don't like when you're working with your pencils, with your charcoal, with your pen. And you'll want to do this exercise on a big drawing sheet in your drawing pad. Not on your newsprint, because this is basically like a final product. This isn't one where like you'll need a ton of practice. Maybe you want to go over onto your newsprint and play with just copying some of these in like a little thumbnail, so like a really small little version of it, so you can decide whether you're really digging these kind of scratchy lines or if you want to be more fine-tuned and precise. Get a gauge for what you think you'll want to do, and then when you're ready and you know what you want to do, go onto that big sheet of Strathmore drawing paper. And you can use any materials for this. So you can use your pencil. I would recommend definitely using the darker ones, some of the B grades. And like if you're doing something like this, use a pencil, but if you're doing something like this, you probably would want to use charcoal. This is pen. I think you could use ballpoint pen or charcoal. And you could even use your ink if you had fun with that line exercise and you were like, I want to go in with ink. More power to you, please do. One thing I forgot to mention with the ink is that you can use, I know I told you guys, if you don't have a brush, don't worry about it. You can use a stick. You can use literally anything that's lying around the house. That extends to this project as well. If you're like, I'm really curious to know what it would be like to practice mark making with some alternative material. And you're like, I want to use something that's lying around the house. Maybe you want to use chalk. Maybe you want to use crayon. Maybe you have, I don't know, ketchup and mustard. Or, you know, this is kind of just an exploration tool for you guys to kind of get into a mode of mark making that could inform your future drawings and your future practice. I'm requesting again that you guys don't use the work of Paul Klee. It's a little too simplistic, and I think it's like attempting to take the easy way out and be done with this assignment in like 20 minutes. I'm going to push you guys to try some of the more difficult work. But that said, Paul Klee's work is pretty awesome and very fun. I think this one was used with like finger paint. If you guys have paint lying around, you can use that as well. Yeah. I would just research some of these artists, pick one as fast as you can, and start your recreations. And these will be finished by Thursday, like I said. And this isn't something that really requires a ton of like hand-holding or feedback from me. So I will be checking up on you guys, but I would imagine that each one of you is going to have like an individual journey on this, and there's no real wrong or right answer. This is really just a chance for you guys to dig in and explore what your hand and eye can do on a piece of paper. So have at it.